We're live from New Delhi, watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Lipakshi Khurana, coming up in the next 30 minutes. Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh calls for strengthening India's information and cyber infrastructure as he speaks at Ransamvad 2025, asserts the future wars will be a combined play of technology, intelligence, economy and diplomacy. Monsoon fury continues in parts of India. At least 5 people killed, 14 injured after a landslide on Mata Vaishno Devi route in Jammu. Army, police, CRPF, Shrine Board carry out rescue and relief. Trump to hold key meetings on Gaza at White House, predicts conclusive ending of the conflict by the end of the year. And Trump-Fed feud escalates as central bank's Governor Cook plans to sue over illegal firing, while US President mulls replacement. Also on the third day of the US Open, world number 1 Jannik Sinner and Wimbledon champion Iga Swiatek breezes into the second round. And on to the details now. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh asserted that India has never initiated aggression against anyone, but if challenged, India would respond strongly. He was addressing the plenary session at the 2-day sui generis tri-service dialogue on war, warfare and war fighting called Ransamvad 2025 in Madhya Pradesh. Ransamvad 2025 aims to enhance interaction, communication and cooperation among military communities on issues critical to war fighting. Emphasizing on the meaning of the event's name, he said Run evokes the sense of battle and conflict, whereas Samvad refers to dialogue and discussion.
India has never been a nation that seeks war. We have never initiated aggression against anyone. However, the present geopolitical reality is quite different. Even though we do not harbor any aggressive intent, if someone challenges us, it becomes imperative that we respond with strength. To do so, we must continuously enhance our defense preparedness. This is why training, technological advancement, and a sustained dialogue with partners are of utmost importance for us.
Well, Rajnath Singh said that with changing technology, it becomes very necessary that India also adapts its forces according to the changing world.
Future wars will not merely be battles of weapons. They will be a combined play of technology, intelligence, economy and diplomacy. In the times ahead, the nation that masters the triangle of technology, strategy and adaptability will emerge as the true global power. To put it simply, this is the moment to learn from history and write a new one. That is the moment to anticipate the future and shape one.
And moving on, Chief of Army Staff General Upendra Dwivedi, who is on a 4-day official visit to Algeria, visited the Churchill Military Academy, Algeria's premier institution for officer training. This marks his first overseas engagement since the successful conclusion of Operation Sindoor. During his visit, COAS Upendra Dwivedi was briefed on the Academy's vital role in preparing cadets for leadership as officers in the Algerian army. He interacted with the faculty, commending their dedication and high standards of training. COAS Dwivedi also expressed interest in fostering cooperation and the exchange of best practices between the Churchill Academy and training institutes of the Indian Armed Forces. The visit underscores India's intent to deepen defense ties with the Maghreb Sahel region of Africa. An India-US 2+2 intersessional dialogue was held virtually on Tuesday, where officials discussed regional security developments and exchanged perspectives on a number of shared strategic priorities. Well, they discussed trade and investment, energy security, including strengthening civil nuclear cooperation, critical minerals exploration, counter-narcotics and counter-terrorism cooperation, and more. Also, both sides looked forward to increasing defense cooperation, including signing a new 10-year framework for India-US major defense partnership, as well as advancing defense industrial science and technological cooperation, operational coordination, regional cooperation and information sharing. Also, the chairs reaffirmed their commitment to promoting a safer, stronger and more prosperous Indo-Pacific region through the Quad. And Minister of State for Foreign Trade Affairs, Dr. Ahmed bin Mohammed Al Sayed of Qatar, arrived in India on Tuesday. He's leading a high-level investment delegation from Qatar. The minister last visited India on December 2nd and 3rd, 2024, and participated in the CII Partnership Summit and met Indian counterpart Piyush Goyal on the sidelines. Also, India and Qatar held the first meeting of the Joint Task Force on Investment in June last year in New Delhi. The two sides held comprehensive discussions on boosting India-Qatar investment partnership and required steps for the same. And in Jammu, at least 5 people were killed and 14 were injured after heavy rainfall led to a landslide on the route to the Mata Vaishno Devi shrine atop the Trikuta hill on Tuesday afternoon. Authorities fear toll to rise further. Rescue operations are underway and the pilgrimage was suspended. All devotees are advised to replan their yatra to the shrine once the weather improves. Also, Sri Mata Vaishno Devi Shrine Board has established a dedicated helpline desk at ENR Niharika. The contact numbers are 919906019460 and 919906019446. Also 919103491554. Well, District Police Riyasi has issued a rebuttal on ANI Media and some other media outlets, wrongly quoting that SSP Riyasi stated 30 pilgrims died in Adhkwari landslide. In a social media post on X, the District Police said that SSP Riyasi had issued no such statement. Rescue and relief operations are ongoing and media is urged to rely only on official updates. Well, the relief column of Indian Army's White Knight Corps at Adhkwari, in concert with rescue parties of Shrine Board, Jammu and Kashmir Police and CRPF, are assisting the victims of landslide. So far, more than 3,500 people have been rescued. Close coordination with all agencies being carried out to maximize humanitarian aid. Indian Air Force is also pitching in to carry out relief and rescue operation in Jammu. IC-130 and IL-76 landed in Jammu with NDRF load from Hindon, including relief and rescue material. Helicopters or assets like Chinook, Mi-17, V-5 are also on active standby at all nearby bases like Jammu, Udhampur, Srinagar and Pathankot. Meanwhile, the spell of rain continues in Jammu for the third consecutive day on Wednesday. All government and private schools, colleges, institutes and universities will remain closed today. Also, in view of the situation, the centre has ordered activation of intra-circle roaming services in Jammu and Kashmir. The traffic on the Jammu-Srinagar and Kishtwar-Doda national highways was suspended, while dozens of hilly roads were blocked or damaged by landslides or flash floods. Also, Indian Army continues to conduct search and rescue and relief operations in flood-affected areas. And there is a tweet by the Lieutenant Governor of Jammu and Kashmir, Manoj Sinha, and he said, spoke to Divisional Commissioner Jammu, Shri Ramesh Kumar, and other senior officials and took stock of flood situation and rescue and relief operations, directed the officials for restoration of power, communication, water supply on priority in areas where flood water is receding, unquote. And moving on, flood threat looms over Ramban district in Jammu and Kashmir as rivers in the region have swelled, prompting emergency evacuations and triggering a high alert response from authorities. Senior Superintendent of Police of Ramban, Arun Gupta, described the situation grim and confirmed the emergency rescue team have been formed at the police station and outpost levels to ensure safety.
हालात आप सभी देख रहे हैं, इस समय पसमंदा है, हाई अलर्ट पे मशीनरी है और काफ़ी जगहों से हमें जो है लोगों को इवैक्यूएशन भी करना पड़ा क्योंकि चनाब का जो ओवरफ्लो है और डिस्चार्ज है वो डेंजर और अलर्ट मार्क से ऊपर चल रहा है। हम मॉनिटर कर रहे हैं, सिचुएशन को मॉनिटर कर रहे हैं। हमारी हर थाना और चौकी लेवल पे जो है वो रेस्क्यू टीम्स बनी हैं, जिसमें सिविल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के ऑफिसर्स के साथ भी हमारी लाइजनिंग है और जैसे जैसे सिचुएशन इमर्ज होगी, कहीं इवैक्यूएशन करनी है, कहीं रिलीफ करना है, रेस्क्यू करना है, तो वो हमारी टीम्स जो हैं वो पूरे साजो सामान के साथ जो है वो तैयार है।
And as per the latest update from the Indian Meteorological Department, persistent rainfall is to be expected for multiple Indian states. Heavy showers at isolated places predicted in Mumbai until August 29th. Neighbouring Thane is also bracing for heavy rain, while Pune is likely to experience light to moderate rain accompanied by thunder showers during the same period. In Rajasthan, the monsoon continues to deliver heavy to very heavy rainfall across several regions. The Meteorological Centre in Jaipur has issued an orange alert for extremely heavy rainfall in Ratsamand, Sirohi and Udaipur districts. Also, heavy rains have triggered landslides and swollen rivers and streams, disrupting road connectivity in several parts of Himachal Pradesh. As per the Met Department, in the month of August, the state has received 62% more rain than normal, especially in Kullu district. It has ruined 155% more than normal. Shimla has received 112%, Solan has received 117%, and Una district has received 128% more rain than normal rains. Well, the downpour has caused extensive damage to the Kiratpur-Manali National Highway at multiple locations, forcing its closure to traffic. Several other roads and a restaurant were swept away in Manali, while locals were evacuated in Mandi. Almost all districts in the hill state except Lahaul and Spiti have been receiving rainfall since Sunday night, with no respite expected until 1st of September. As a precaution, schools and government institutions in the affected areas remain closed today. Well, heavy rains and overflowing rivers wreaked havoc across 7 districts of Punjab, with Army and BSF joining the rescue and relief operations that included the use of helicopters and boats. Met Department has issued an orange alert for 11 districts in most parts of the state. So far, around 130 villages across 7 districts remain badly affected. Well, in a swift and daring operation, Indian Army Aviation evacuated 22 CRPF personnel along with 3 civilians who had been stranded near Madhopur headworks since yesterday. In a turn of events that underscores the urgency of the operation, the building where they had been sheltering collapsed shortly after the evacuation, highlighting the timeliness and precision of the rescue. This successful operation once again reflects the Indian Army's unwavering commitment to safeguarding lives and its ability to respond promptly in crisis situations. Also, the synergy between Indian Army and local authorities ensured that a potential tragedy was averted. And still to come in this edition of DT India Live. U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff to meet representatives from Ukraine in New York this week. Fight confirms Goa as the venue for the Chess World Cup 2025. And people welcome Bappa with much fervour and gaiety. Stay with us for the special celebrations we get you from Mumbai.
This week on Defense Dynamics, we decode India-France jet engine collaboration. We explain how the Agni 5 test reinforces peace through strength and how INS Himgiri showcases India's indigenous naval power. We also analyze Israel's Rampage missile and how it boosts Indian Air Force's precision strike edge, and why Indian Army Chief's visit to Algeria so important. Sharp insights, clear explanations, Defense Dynamics this Wednesday at 8 p.m. only on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DT India Live. I'm Lipakshi Kuran, and moving on, US President Donald Trump will chair a meeting on Gaza at the White House on Wednesday. US Special Envoy Steve Witkoff said that Washington expected Israel's conflict in the Palestinian territory to be settled by the end of the year. Trump's term began with a ceasefire which lasted 2 months. Trump stunned the world earlier this year when he suggested that the United States should take control of the Gaza Strip, clear out its 2 million inhabitants and build seaside real estate. Trump said the United States would remove rubble and unexploded bombs and turn Gaza into the Riviera of the Middle East. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu praised the proposal, which was heavily criticized by many European and Arab states. Also, in an interview to a news channel, Witkoff said they are putting a very comprehensive plan. He also said that Israel was open to continuing discussions with Palestinian militant group Hamas. He also said Hamas had signaled they were open to a settlement. And India's Ministry of External Affairs has condemned the killing of journalist in Khan Yunis, Gaza. MEA spokesperson Sri Randhir Jaiswal said, and I quote, "The killing of journalists is shocking and deeply regrettable. India has always condemned loss of civilian lives in conflict. We understand that the Israeli authorities have already instituted an investigation," unquote. Well, Iran held talks on Tuesday with European powers seeking to avert a sanctions snapback, which they have threatened to impose under the moribund 2015 nuclear deal. The European trio, Britain, France and Germany, parties to the landmark 2015 Iran nuclear deal, have threatened to trigger the accord's snapback mechanism by the end of August. Iranian Deputy Foreign Minister, who attended the talks with Britain, France and Germany in Geneva, said in a post on X, it was high time for the European trio to make the right choice and give diplomacy time and space. Tuesday's meeting was the second round of talks with European diplomats since the end of the 12-day war between Iran and Israel in June, triggered by an unprecedented Israeli surprise attack. The move would reimpose sweeping UN sanctions lifted under the 2015 agreement unless Iran agreed to curb its uranium enrichment and restore cooperation with International Atomic Energy Agency inspectors. And Donald Trump's Fed feud intensifies as U.S. Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook will be challenging Trump's attempt to remove her from the central bank after the U.S. leader ramped up pressure on the institution. Her lawyer said that Trump's attempt to fire Lisa Cook lacks legal and factual basis and announced plans to file a lawsuit challenging the action. Whereas Trump removed Lisa Cook on Monday, citing allegations of false statements related to her mortgage agreements, expanding pressure on the independent central bank. Citing the Federal Reserve Act, Trump said in a letter to Lisa Cook that he found sufficient cause to remove her from her position. Meanwhile, as per the Wall Street Journal, potential candidates to replace Lisa Cook includes Trump advisor Stephen Miran and former World Bank President David Malpass, a close ally who has criticized the Fed for not cutting interest rates.
Well, we have some very good people for that position, and I think we have some very good people. We're down to, I think I maybe in my own mind have somebody that I like. But I deal with Scott and I deal with Howard, and we're dealing with a lot of people actually that are going to be involved in that decision ultimately. It's a very important decision.
Well, U.S. President Donald Trump said on Tuesday he's prepared to impose economic sanctions against Russia if Vladimir Putin fails to agree to a ceasefire. At a cabinet meeting, Trump said it will not be a world war, but it will be an economic war. Trump is seeking one-on-one talks between Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and Putin, though Zelensky has agreed in principle to such talks. Putin has not.
I want to see that deal end. It's very serious what I have in mind if I have to do it, but I want to see it end. I think that in many ways he's there. Sometimes he'll be there and Zelensky won't be there. You know, it's like, who do we have today? I got to get them both at the same time. But I want to have it end. We have economic sanctions. I'm talking about economic, because we're not going to get into a world war.
While U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff will meet with representatives from Ukraine in New York this week, Witkoff said that Washington continues to talk with Russia as the United States seeks an end to Ukraine conflict. He thought Russian President Vladimir Putin wanted to bring an end to the conflict. He said Putin made a good faith effort to engage. Also, President Donald Trump held a summit with Putin in Alaska on August 15th and a meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, as well as NATO and European leaders at the White House on August 18th. Following those meetings, Trump said Zelensky and Putin would hold a bilateral meeting before a trilateral meeting that would also include Trump. Trump had vowed a swift end to the conflict that began in 2022 when he took office in January, but has yet to achieve that objective. And on to some sports news now. In the U.S. Open 2025, Iga Swiatek and Jannik Sinner cruised to the second round with routine wins. Wimbledon winner Swiatek cruised past Emiliana Arango 6-1, 6-2 in an hour without facing a break point. Swiatek has been in exquisite form since the Cincinnati Open. She'll next face Susan Lemons in round 2. In other women's single action, French Open winner Coco Gauff secured a hard-fought victory over Alia Tomljanovic. Gauff had to dig deep in a classic 3-set thriller to advance into the next round. She'll face Donna Vekic in round 2. Meanwhile, top-ranked men's defending champion Jannik Sinner thrashed Vit Kopriva in straight sets. Sinner eased into the second round where he'll face Australia's Alexei Popyrin. An International Chess Federation has confirmed Goa as the venue for the Chess World Cup 2025, where top-tier players from around the globe are set to compete. India last hosted the tournament in 2002 in Hyderabad, concluded with Grandmaster Vishwanathan Anand lifting the crown. The much-awaited spectacle brings together 206 players competing on India's west coast. Well, the tournament will run from October 30th to November 27th and will be played in a 2-game knockout format over 8 rounds. And the festival of Ganesh Chaturthi is being celebrated from today, marking the birth of Lord Ganesh, the remover of obstacles and the god of wisdom and prosperity. Special celebrations are taking place in Mumbai with lakhs of devotees thronging at iconic Lal Bokcha Raja. For 10 days, it becomes the heart of Mumbai's celebrations, drawing devotees and visitors from across India and abroad. Besides, people also welcome Ganesh idols into their homes, observe fast, prepare delicious treats and visit pandals throughout the celebration. In Hyderabad, the 69 feet tall Lord Ganesh idol has been installed in Kheratabad area. Devotees continue to throng to witness the idol and offer prayers. A unique Ganesh idol has been installed in Chennai, where it is made of 7,500 books in Manali area. The team plans to distribute these books to people in the surrounding areas after completing their tasks on Sunday. In northeastern state of Assam, the Ganesh Janmahotsav Samiti is organizing a grand two-day function. The organizers have made elaborate arrangements, including lighting lamps and creating a pandal for Lord Ganesh, ensuring all facilities. Ganesh Chaturthi, which lasts 10 days, is marked by prayers, aartis and community celebrations, culminating in the Visarjan, where idols are immersed in water amid chants and music. This year, Ganesh Visarjan will take place next Saturday, that is 6th of September. All right, that's all for this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Lipakshi Khurana from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.